I never have to use it, but something tells me I will. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg.
Please call me Johannes. Welcome.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy why?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. But you made it, Mr. Reed.
You said you know someone who can help me with my...
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. He has dedicated a lot of time and...
How can I find...
Don't worry, you can't miss him.
I'll need a place to...
Fear not. I've already...
Sounds...
Don't judge a book by its cover.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont?
Most locals go by foot, or by boat.
You're too kind, Johannes.
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few
other places.
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so...
How do you fill your days?
I host a philosophy club.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for...
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better...
Well, that's...
No.
Oh.
Don't worry.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my... I am, but not...
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator. Just arrived from Boston.
Private investigator, you say? Well...
If I may...
Why do you care?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition. I can says he was barely
And you don't believe...
Complete malarkey. I know. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark...
I've heard you're...
Another newcomer with an...
Can I ask you if...
How dare you? My son Albert is missing and no one in this...
I take it...
Those fish-faced, but now...
So they're just...
Hardly. They've... Not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed.
Please forgive the question, but...
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. My father united with a certain royal...
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. Rather...
What makes you think you can do it?
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say...
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect. Vera means fire.
I need to know...
Tane, did you not listen at all? This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But what...
Anything else?
Clearly...
Where's the house where...
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was...
You mentioned a lifeboat.
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a...
As much as I'm in...
Fine.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing
Let's
it
see
over
what you
like
find,
this.
newcomer.
Hello? It's okay.
Oh,
I want to know what happened here. Every
I don't. Then he came.
Then what?
We put the guy, and he woke up, and
That sounds familiar. Tell me about you.
name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal, and I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting...
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I put
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
outsider, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry. I'll leave you to it.
Please, detective, sir.
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just... Choo-choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Five cards short of a full house. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nukulina, Hafton.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. Choo-choo. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the pocket. And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. The door won't budge. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilled for nothing. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes. Make...
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me that dirtbag, Lewis. He and I are due a reckoning. Do this for me.
Mr. Throgmorton.
What? I don't...
Some unusual creature.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling... I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Bye.